It's time now for County-Wide, a presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. You'll hear about the interesting issues and happenings that affect all our lives. Here's today's County-Wide.
Again, a good day, everybody. It's County-Wide. I'm Brad Miller, and we're happy to welcome into studio for the second of a two-part program from Humane Society of Sedona. Director of Operations is Sara Porter, and Antonio Lopez is Animal Care Supervisor. And in this segment, we talked last about the Humane Society, how it works, what some of the programs are, how staffing and volunteerism go. We may get into that a little bit more today. But Antonio, I really kind of wanted to focus especially on you, Animal Care Supervisor. Sounds like a big job, sounds like an important role, and it sounds like probably at the heart of it all is making sure the right pets and the right people get together in that forever home. So let's kind of start there. And if we can, I want to talk about dogs specifically. I don't necessarily want to say dogs require more care than cats, though that may be true. But certainly a relationship between, do we call them owners? What do we say? Mom and dad.
Pet
in
parents.
Our house, we're pet parents. Pet parents, perfect.
We had lots of caffeine.
I know, okay. Okay, pet parents, perfect. That's the way to go. The relationship is going to be as individual as it's going to be between any two human beings. So let's kind of start there. When someone comes in, they're going to have a lot of questions. Most people, I'm guessing, are going to already have been online, and they're going to have a pet probably in mind that they've seen on the website. How do we go from there?
So we've, since, the beginning of the pandemic, we instituted a program for appointments. So people would make an appointment to see an animal. And what this has provided us with doing is making it a more individualized experience for the person. We can kind of focus on them instead of having three people coming in to see animals.
Sure.
And splitting our time between three people, we can focus on what they're looking for. And this has made a much better matchmaking process, where while we do adoption counseling, it's more of a matchmaking to see what's a good match for you, your lifestyle, what you're looking for. So most people have an idea in mind when they come in. They tell us, I'm looking for a dog that, is going to go hiking, or
right.
They're looking for a dog that's going to hang out and go on walks with them, whatever it might be. And, we know the animal's personalities and behaviors pretty well, so we can match them up better with an animal that works for them. And while we do kind of interview the person while we're doing the adoption process, we're just asking questions to make sure it's a good fit with that animal, or if there's another animal we have on site that might be a better fit. Sometimes people come in with one animal in mind, and then they end up leaving with another one because, after they describe to us, this dog sounds like it's a better fit for you. Let me bring them up and introduce you. And it is a better fit. Some people are attracted by the look of an animal
sure.
Versus the personality. So things to consider are definitely, what you're looking for, your activity levels, what you're going to do if you have to go on a trip somewhere, who's going to watch the animal,
right.
Ease of care and that sort of thing. Grooming, if you get a dog with long hair, you're going to have to take it to the groomer. Poodle breeds, everybody wants a poodle breed, but there's a lot of grooming involved with those guys. So we make sure that it's going to be a good fit for everybody around, because there's nothing more frustrating than taking an animal home, having to take care of them, and it's not the right fit for you. Some people are ashamed to kind of tell us that, hey, it's not working out. We totally encourage that. We don't want anybody to feel ashamed if you return an animal. It's not like you can't adopt.
And it
just wasn't the right fit.
That 30-day period that you mentioned in our earlier show. I'm thinking that you could almost take your knowledge and skill and turn it into a party trick. Okay, let's look at me, my belly, my gray hair, and my bad knees. I'm not going to be getting a terrier. I mean, honestly, don't you kind of...
Yeah, it really...
I don't want to suggest you're summing people up, but to an extent, you're going to have a pet in mind, aren't you?
Yeah, and some of the questions we ask is, what's your activity level?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you going on 3-mile hikes?
Right.
Well, this dog likes to sleep on the couch. They're not going to go on a 3-mile hike. So it kind of comes down to that. You're not going to take a Chihuahua, on a backpacking trip. I mean, you could just stick them in the backpack. But if you're looking for a buddy to go with you and actually hike with you, not the best fit. Or a dog with back issues, not the best fit for hiking.
Right.
So we make sure it's a good fit for everybody involved, or maybe a shy dog that bonds with one person, but you have parties at your house all the time. That might not be a good fit because they're not used to people coming in and out all the time.
Right.
So we do a very thorough job of making sure it's going to be a good fit. And we always encourage, once you meet the animal, it's very easy to say, I'm going to take this dog home, very cute. We encourage you to go to lunch, think about it. And then if you decide that's the best fit for me, call us back. come in and adopt. It's easier to think about it when it's not in front of you. Think about your lifestyle and what you're doing, with, where you're going, your job commitment, all those sorts of things without the animal right there.
Yeah. It's a big commitment to pay attention to all of those kinds of things. Ask those important questions ahead of time. Is there paperwork, or do you just kind of chat and have this communication?
So we have that communication, and once everybody's on the same boat, we're like, yeah, that's a good fit for you. The adoption's approved. You would come in and just fill out some paperwork with our front desk person. This gets you on the animal's file. The microchip gets registered to you at that time of adoption, so you don't have to mess and fiddle with any of that. It all gets registered to you. You get all their vaccine history, any sort of medical history that we might have if they have extensive medical history, and any behavior notes or behavior handouts if they have a specific behavior. We give handouts for that to talk about how to work with it.
Right. Okay. Well, makes perfect sense. Is when I know a lot of times people are attracted to puppies because there's the cute factor and all of those kinds of things. But also one thing is, well, I'm getting. I don't mean to sound unkind, but if I buy a brand new car, it has no problems. It didn't get traded in for a reason. If I adopt an older dog, say, well, he got surrendered for a reason. It's some people are going to kind of have that mindset. How do you kind of address that?
Well, I jokingly tell people the best thing about having a puppy is you get to raise a puppy. The worst thing about having a puppy is you have to raise a puppy. So it's a double-edged sword there. So that's always the best part of it, but it's also the most troublesome part of it. The benefit to adopting the older dogs is we already know what their behaviors are, or have a good idea of it, and they've already been potty trained. That's why some people will come in and they look for older dogs because they're already potty trained. Puppies, you got to potty train them. You got to teach them everything. At the same time, some puppies can develop, behavioral issues later in life, but it's up to you to address them and make sure that, you're taking care of them. The sooner you take care of them, the better. Same thing with adult dogs. When they go into a new situation, you have the chance to set up what their behaviors are going to be. You're able to address them right away and set up expectations with them. So it makes it a little bit easier. It really depends on what your lifestyle's like and what you're really wanting to do. Like you said, puppies are very cute. Everybody wants a puppy, but you got to consider the cost and the training and time commitment of owning a puppy. Right.
Is it a good idea to give someone a pet as a gift?
We do not recommend pets as gifts. The only case we adopt out as a gift is parents adopting for their children, because they're going to ultimately be the ones taking care of them. Everybody needs to be involved in it, because some people don't have the time commitment for a puppy. Some people are working 10, 12 hours a day. Puppies require a lot of care and attention. That's not quite a good fit for them if nobody's home to take care of that puppy. So we definitely recommend, if you want to get a puppy or a dog as a gift to somebody, that they're involved in the adoption process so they know what the behaviors are going to be, and that make sure that they can handle those behaviors. So some behaviors that I'm comfortable handling might not be, somebody else is comfortable with handling. It might be not part of what they're looking for.
Yeah. You've got to be really, really careful. Like you say, if you've got a 10-year-old boy at home and he wants a puppy and living with mom and dad, that might be able to kind of work. Other than that, if the dog is not living in your own home, it seems like a great rule of thumb is don't do it.
Yeah.
At the very least, consult deeply with the other person and then let them kind of make that decision on their own.
That's the best rule of thumb. They can, say, hey, I want to adopt a dog for you for Christmas, and bring them in to be part of that process. Give them a card with, what they want to do for them. That way, they don't have the animal in the home and then they're there and end up getting returned. It's not too bad for the animal, but it can be hard on the person receiving the gift because they're not ready for it.
Yeah. All right, let's take a short break. We need to pause for just a moment. And see what I did there? Pause. P-A-W-S. No laugh from the crowd. All right, we'll leave the comedy to someone else. We'll take a short break. Sara Porter, Antonio Lopez, Humane Society of Sedona, and today we're talking especially about adopting pets. What do you need to know? What should you think about? What should you understand even before that process begins? And then they're going to help you through it. It's countywide. We'll break. We'll be back right after this.
Your neighborhood Jackson Hewitt Tax Service for over 25 years and continues to serve the communities in northern Arizona. Jackson Hewitt is here to help you file your personal taxes. As laws and situations change, your local Jackson Hewitt Tax Service professional stays updated to serve you. Drop off or make an in-person appointment. In Flagstaff, call 213-8626. That's 213-8626. That's 213-8626.
The award-winning experts at Verde Solar Services offer the trusted Carrier products that help you customize a solution to fit your budget. Verde Solar is a family-owned business serving the Verde Valley for 38 years with the Carrier products you can rely on. Carrier AC systems are trusted to bring energy-efficient, quiet, consistent comfort. Call 928-567-5315 for a free assessment of your AC and air quality needs. Verde Solar Services, online at verdesolar.com, a factory-authorized Carrier dealer.
Don't let concerns about today's events derail your long-term financial strategy. Hi, I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Matthias Sandoval, and I'm here to help. We can work together to understand the impact of these events and make sure your goals are top of mind. While you can't control the market volatility, we'll focus on what you can control. We can connect in several virtual ways. Start by giving me a call at 634-1044.
Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing. Member SIPC.
And welcome back to the program. Again, Humane Society of Sedona, Antonio Lopez, Sara Porter, our guest today, and talking about adopting pets, doggies and kitties primarily. I'm sure you've run into this, the two of you, with your experience. Sometimes folks will come in and they are trying to recreate the experience they had with the pet that they have lost, say to old age or whatever. I read, again, anecdotally online that that's very common. Do you agree?
We run into it from time to time. It's fairly common. That's why our process of kind of matchmaking works out so well, because we talk to people about that, about, this animal is not going to be the same. A lot of people will share it with us, right off the bat, that they've lost a pet and they're, this pet looks like their pet or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
They mostly base it off of looks. Personality-wise, every animal is different, just like every person's different. Life experiences are different. And we convey that to people. And most people kind of understand that. They know that it's going to be different. Occasionally we'll get people in that have just lost a pet and they just want to help another pet.
Okay.
They know it's not going to be the same as, their other dog. So we always encourage people, if you've just lost a pet, to, go through your grieving process. Some people adopt faster than others. Some people take longer to adopt. We've had people come in after 6 years, their pet's been gone and they're finally ready. So, everybody goes through a different grieving process. Some people might wait a week. Some people might wait 6 years. So it's very different.
Yeah. Do you have dog people and cat people? We all call ourselves dog people and cat people. I kind of assume. And is there a difference when you're adopting? I mean, a lot of times, not to oversimplify it, but cats, you get her home, you show her the litter box and the food dish, and Kitty's going to do pretty well, kind of figuring a lot of it out on her own. Am I oversimplifying it, or we've got both in our home?
Yeah, cats. People find it easier to adjust cats to their home.
Yeah.
We get a lot of cats in. Most cats we deal with, behavior-wise, are shy, scared kitties.
Sure.
So people might adopt a cat and they want a super cuddly kitty. This cat's going to hide for a while. I have a cat at my house. It took him a year to adjust to my household, and now he finally comes out. He loves everybody. But it took him that time to adjust and feel safe. So cats can take longer to adjust. So it really depends on what the person's looking for in their life. If they're super active and they want somebody to go out active with them, getting a cat to go hiking with you is very difficult. I've seen it happen, but it's difficult.
Saw a cat on a leash just last weekend.
Yeah, cats on leashes, people backpack with them. So you can do it. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but most cats are homebodies. Right. Most cats are homebodies. So it really depends on what the person's looking for. And most people that come in, sometimes we get people wanting to see both cats and dogs. Most of the time, they know exactly what they want. They want a cat or they want a dog.
Yeah. Is fostering ahead of time a good option ahead of adopting, or is foster really kind of intended for a different point and purpose?
So I would say if someone is not ready to adopt, but they really want to be around animals, volunteering is an awesome option.
There you go.
2 to 3 hours a week, is the commitment. You can always do more, but just having that time with the animals, sometimes that really helps with the adjustment and to figure out, my household really would do better with a cat, or maybe it really would. I could do this with a dog. And we offer a program for after volunteers go through training, they can actually check a dog out for a hike for the day or something, and it gives them an idea. So usually that helps. Fostering is also a good option as well. It is intended to help the animals adjust, but sometimes it can help the people adjust too.
Okay. Here again, it's going to be about personality and right pet, right circumstance, and all of those things. Is there, if I just ask you the question, is there one misconception, misunderstanding? Is there one thing a lot of people, and maybe especially first-time pet owners or folks who haven't had a pet in their home in a long time, come to you and that you hear and see?
A lot of people that are coming to us, especially like first-time pet owners, they've had a family dog they've grown up with, and that dog was pretty well trained and easygoing. So some people will come in and think they can just take the dog home and they'll just adjust right away and everything.
Bingo, he's done.
There's an adjustment period. You're going to have to work with them. You're going to have to train with them. I always tell people, even though they might be potty trained here at the shelter, you might have an accident in the home. It's up to you to pay attention to the animal. I always recommend setting up a routine for, bathroom breaks for the animal because, like I said, they might have an accident in the home, whereas your family dog could stay in house all day and then go out at night and go to the bathroom. Some animals can hold it that long, some animals can't. So there's going to be a process for adjusting.
Going to be a lot of those things, yeah.
So, and actually also we're partnered with Good Pup, which is like a virtual dog training program. So we offer the first week of that free for all of our new adopters to help the dogs adjust.
Okay, and what does that do?
It's a dog training program. It's a virtual dog trainer. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it runs when you purchase it yourself. It's like $20 to $30 a week, but it's a pretty amazing program.
Okay. When I go online and, the cuteness factor is just going to be part of any purchase any of us makes or any kind of decision any of us makes about bringing anything into our home. We want that coffee pot to look good with the refrigerator and so on. And it's going to also be a factor when people come in and adopt pets. Do you, kind of get around that? I mean, are people, you talked about, I guess what I'm asking is, do you ever steer anybody away from the pet that they came in really kind of looking for?
Yeah.
And it seems like that could be a tricky and difficult conversation to have with someone.
It can, because like you said, some people come in and they're want a specific breed, because of the breed. They want that animal, but it's not necessarily a good fit personality-wise.
They saw a movie with X number of XYZ type of breed. That happens, sure.
It happens.
Gotcha.
So what we do is we talk to them about it. Some breeds have breed-specific behaviors. Huskies, everybody knows huskies. They talk.
Yeah.
They, like to sing. They like to activity. So if you're living in an apartment and your neighbors like it quiet, husky's not going to be a good fit for you. So some people love huskies and they see them and they want to adopt a husky, but they're living in an apartment and this dog's going to, howl at every noise and everything. Not the best fit. You're going to very quickly develop some neighbors that don't like you much. So we can steer them to a different dog that might be a better fit for them. Very rarely are people too hung up on it. A lot of people are pet lovers. They want a pet in their life. They understand,
Gotcha.
It's not going to be a good fit. So we're very transparent. As Sarah mentioned, we're very transparent with our adoptions, medical, behavioral. We want to make sure it's a good fit for the animal and you.
That makes sense. Yeah, completely so. All right. We need to take kind of a final break. We'll come back and again wrap it up. And I think we want to talk one more time too, Sarah, about volunteers and staff. I want to ask you a couple of things I neglected before. How many people are on, staff and full time and that kind of thing, and a little bit about that. Understanding how to adopt a pet, what goes into it, an awful lot. What do you need to know ahead of time? They will answer your questions and then be there after your adoption to make sure that you and your new fur buddy are having a good time and getting along just great. Sarah Porter, Antonio Lopez, Humane Society of Sedona. It's countywide, and we're back right after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley for 38 years, and your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust, designed, engineered, and built in the USA. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates on systems that are quiet and affordable. Verde Solaire is locally owned since 1983 and available for all your heating, air conditioning, and plumbing needs. Call 928-567-5315. Visit them online at verdisolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Taxes, taxes, taxes.
It's that time again. This is Lewis with Rice Accounting Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. We don't sell cars, we don't do hair or wait tables. We do taxes. At Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, we talk taxes and we prepare taxes. Open year-round for tax filings. Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, located throughout northern Arizona. For over 20 years, our local preparers have helped neighbors pay their fair share and no more.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service in the Tri-Cities at 772-7872. That's 772-7872.
Welcome back to Countywide, our final segment, a two-part show. There is so much to think about when you're looking to adopt a pet, and I appreciate Antonio Lopez, Sara Porter, the two of you coming in, sharing your experience and knowledge about this. Sara, if you can, as we kind of begin to wrap up, I want to mention some outreach to volunteers again in just a moment. We'll leave them with a phone number and some of those kinds of things. But funding, we neglected, or I did, to even ask you about the two very popular thrift stores that are associated with Humane Society of Sedona.
Yeah, so our Humane Society is a freestanding Humane Society, which means that we don't get the trickle-down money from the national organization. So we are supported by our two thrift stores, which is Paw Prints in the village of Oak Creek, across from Circle K, and Paws West there in the Harkins Plaza. So those thrift stores provide us with 50% of our operating income, and the rest of the income comes from grants and our wonderful community. I mean, we couldn't do it without the great people in our area. So.
Yeah, just folks kind of opening their hearts.
Mm-hmm. And That's exactly right.
Keeping it all moving. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's if you need. I know you're always looking for able bodies and volunteers and things like that. So, what makes a good volunteer? Do I have to have a degree in veterinary medicine to be a volunteer? Probably not.
No, you just have to have a desire to help. And so you can work with the cats, work with the dogs, you can help with the thrift store, you can help with administration projects. There's all kinds of things that you can do to make a difference in the shelter animal lives. It can be interacting with them directly or helping with the operations part that impact them.
Kind of like when you come to adopt, you'll find a little niche for them, and with volunteers, it can be very much the same way.
Absolutely, and our organization is 90% volunteers, 90%. So volunteers help with every single part of our operation. So.
Okay, terrific. And how should what's the best way to get a hold of you, through the website?
Yep, so on our website, there's a volunteer page, and you can fill out the application right on the volunteer page. Okay. And as soon as you submit it, you get the volunteer orientation. Now, if you're a little bit more old school, you can come on in and fill out a paper application, and we'll get you set up for the orientation right there in the office at your convenience.
Okay, and your location is where?
2115 Shelby Drive in West Sedona.
And the phone number, do you want to give that as?
Absolutely, 928-282-4679.
Just like that. Don't be shy. Find out how you can take some of that spare time that perhaps you've earned and help out the many pets at the Humane Society of Sedona. You'll work alongside Antonio Lopez and Sara Porter, our guests today. We thank you so much for coming by and sharing time with us. It's Countywide. We'll see you next time.
This has been Countywide. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday at this time. If you have a topic or guest idea that you'd like to suggest, email us, news@myradioplace.com.